Travis Green, sweating this one out with the Cougs fans tonight. How are you holding up, Travis?
Yeah, I might be losing my voice when I wake up tomorrow from all the yelling I was doing tonight. A 16-year wait came to an end this week. The Cougs cracking the top 25 for the first time since 2008. Another drought on the line tonight. First place in the Pac-12 up for grabs. The last time WSU sat atop the conference was February of 2007. A tall task for Kyle Smith and crew up against fourth-ranked Arizona on the road. But Jalen Wells was on their team, and he came to play tonight. Scored a team-high 13 in the first half. 3 here puts the Cougs up 6. Can't say enough about Ruben Chinyelu. The game of his career, a double-double, 12 points and 11 rebounds. But Arizona just would not go away. Caleb Love had an answer all night. Cougs would lead 34-33 at half. Second half, Cougs trailing. Isaac Jones, after a quiet first half, burst onto the scene. Alley-oop jam here, part of a 10 straight points he'd score for WSU. But the game came down to the final minutes. Love had 27 for Arizona. The and one here for a 3-point Arizona lead. 30 seconds left to go. Cougs trailing. Miles Rice misses a potential tying 3. Andre Yakimovsky gets the board, finds Wells in the corner, who not only makes it, but gets the foul. We'll give you another look at the angle here. Wells would make the freebie. That's a 4-point play and a Coug lead. Arizona would have a chance with seconds left, but Love would trip for a travel. WSU goes into McHale Center and completes a season sweep of fourth-ranked Arizona, 77-74, and Jalen Wells, can't talk about him enough. The hero, a game winner and 27 points. Mariners hosting the Cubs tonight. It was Miller time on the bump, and Bryce delivered 6 in a third innings with 1 run and 4 strikeouts. Somebody gave Jobu some rum because the bats woke up in the fourth. Bases juiced, and J-Rod finds some grass in right center. A pair come in to score to make it 3-0 M's. Later in the inning, Ty France goes opposite field to bring in J.P. Crawford for a 4-0 lead. M's defense also does its part tonight, evident by this web gem from Luis Urias. An all-around effort in Seattle as the M's win 4-2. We'll pick things up in the final minutes of the second period. Jets power play. Jared McCann breaks loose, and that's what you call a shorty. His second goal of the night puts the Kraken up 2-1. Jets rally to take a 3-2 lead in the third. Kraken answer to tie it. Matty Beniers wrister, Tomas Tatar Tipper, all locked up at threes. Stays that way until the final minute of the third. Kraken power play. Andre Burakovsky brings the power. Finds Nylon for a 4-3 lead. Joey Decord, fantastic, made 30 saves, none better than the final seconds. Loses his stick, but makes a win-saving sliding save. Sea Monsters hang on for a 4-3 W. Up next, the Jets again, but on Friday at home. Well, it might be time to invest in some dancing classes for the Mariners because they've been doing a whole lot of dancing this season. After yesterday's win, the M's entered today with a 10-game lead in the American League West. The Mariners continuing their series in Cleveland against the Guardians tonight. Brian Wu back on the bump for the first time in 12 days. He's been dealing with a forearm injury. Guardians, well, not welcoming him back very nicely. In the second, hit the Kwan. Stephen Kwan blasts a homer off the right field foul pole. 2-run shot there puts Cleveland up 3-0. Wu lasts just 4 innings with 3 earned runs. Tough day at the plate for the M's as a whole, but specifically J.P. Crawford in the 5th, his 3rd strikeout of the night, and safe to say he didn't like it. Argues, gets tossed, and then out comes Scott Service to back up his shortstop. He also gets tossed. Bullpen not having any better luck than Wu. Josh Naylor feasted on the Mariners in this one. His first homer of the day, a 2-run blast here in the 5th, and yeah, he got all of that one. He'd later smack another dinger in the 7th. M's give up 8 runs, 5 of which from the bullpen. There will be no dancing tonight. Mariners fall 8-0. Wu takes blame for the bullpen struggles.
Not going more than 5, you put more stress on the bullpen. Obviously, I'm sure they weren't ready to go that early, and then you just make it hard on everybody the rest of the game, the rest of the series. Just didn't do my job.
The Pac-2 Championship. All week it's been about unity between these two programs, but at the end of the day, these are 2 top 25 teams, and all the kumbaya, we're all in this together, well, that quickly came to an end. A lot on the line here. Top 25 rankings and the imaginary championship, of course. Many favored the Beavers in this matchup, and if you're wondering, the fans, well, they did boo Oregon State. Cougs quieted the doubters real quick. Just the second play on offense. A lot of fans Want to see the Cougs throw the ball deep more this season? Well, here you go. Cam Ward to Kyle Williams, 63 yards for a quick 7-zip lead. Second quarter now, Cougs up 14-7. Ward out to Josh Kelly. The Fresno State transfer may have a future in selling washing machines because he knows the spin cycle well. Talk about yak. What a play. Cougs up 21-7. Beavs would cut the lead to just one possession, but Cam Ward would keep on cooking. He had 293 yards and 3 touchdowns at halftime. Here's the third with 10 seconds before the break to Josh Kelly. Cougs lead up to 14 at half. Start of the second half, more of the same. Ward and Kelly back at it. 2's great, 3's even better. 159 yards and 3 tutties for Kelly. Have a game, why don't you? Cougs up 21. However, the fourth would go Oregon State's way. They'd score 21 points. Here with just under 2 minutes left, Ugalele finds Jack Belling to make it a 38-35 ball game. So Oregon State, they have a chance. Out of timeouts, have to get the onside kick. But the Cougs, well, they recover. What a win. Washington State now sits at a perfect 4-0 for the first time since 2017. Gilbert fantastic today. George Springer has been trouble the whole series. He strikes out twice. Gilbert had 8 Ks and 1 walk. Gilbert's only mistake of the day coming here in the 7th. Hangs a breaking ball to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And yeah, there's your 1 earned run on the day. Ties the game up at 1s and would be into the bottom of the 9th. Bluebirds with the bases juice with 2 outs. Munoz on the mound. Jorge Polanco with the fantastic snag. We go to extras. That struggling M's offense disappeared in the 10th. The big dumper, Cal Raleigh with a 2-run go-ahead jack. His second of the season makes it 3-1 M's, and they just keep it coming. Oh, oui, oui. Ty France rips one to left. Dom Canzone, come on in to score. Mitch Haniger keeps it coming. Mariners score 6 runs for the first time this season. Not a great road trip, but the M's finish with a 6-1 win in extras out at Beasley Coliseum. The Washington State women's basketball team honored by receiving their Pac-12 tournament championship rings before tonight's game and the raising of the championship banner up in the rafters. But that's not the only reason it was a big night. The Gonzaga Bulldogs out in Pullman to renew a bit of a rivalry between these two programs that both made the tourney last year. And let me tell you, this one lived up to the bill. We'll pick things up in the final seconds of regulation. Gonzaga down 3. Kaylin Trong was huge tonight. No bucket bigger than this one. A 3 to send the game to OT, tied up at 67s. In OT, the star of the night, Charlize Ledger-Walker. She's helped build this program into what it is, gets the bucket to go. She had a game-high 26 points. Later in overtime, some nice ball movement, finds Estera Tuhina. She buries a triple for a 4-point lead. She had 15 on the night. On the other end, Bulldogs staying in this. Lenny Trong, another clutch 3, gets GU within 1. She had 22, but the Cougs would respond with back-to-back buckets. Beyonce B and Eleonora Villa to put the game out of reach. What a game. It's party time for the Cougs as they move to 2-0 on the season with a 77-72 overtime win. Dragon have started fast all series. No goals in the first tonight, but Seattle the first on the board. Schwartz Rister blocked, but Morgan Geeky there for the rebound. Another early lead for Seattle, but as has been the case all series, the Avalanche would answer. Bit of a mistake here by Grubauer. Rantanen sends it to the net, and Nathan McKinnon is there to knock it in. The difference tonight, however, the Kraken would respond and respond quick. 2 minutes later, Ty Cartier, one-timer, and get this, this was his NHL debut. What a time for your first goal. Seattle up 2-1. Kraken would get some much-needed insurance at the start of the third period. Yanni Gord like a sniper rifle right there. What a shot. Give you another look here. The Avalanche would score late in the third to make the final minutes nerve-wracking, but the Kraken hang on for a 3-2 win. Seattle now holds a 3-2 series lead and are a win away from advancing to the second round. There was another top 25 matchup for us here in the Inland Northwest, but at the FCS level, the 7th-ranked Idaho Vandals opening up Big Sky play against 4th-ranked Sacramento State. The home opener for the Vandals, Idaho with just 4 home games this season, looking to avenge last season's 3-point loss to the Hornets out in California. As expected, this was a slugfest. We'll pick things up in the second half. Vandals starting the third quarter with a bang. It's a flea flicker. Giovanni McCoy going up top for Toronto Ivy Jr. Bobbles, catches, stumbles, but still takes it to the house. Vandals take a 10-point lead. Hornets had an answer on their next drive. From 2 yards out, Marcus Fulcher in to cut the Idaho lead back to 3. Final seconds of the third. This the longest play of the day. McCoy finding Therese Traynor in stride. A beauty of a ball. He uses a little stiff arm to find that yellow turf. McCoy 2 touchdown passes, 234 yards, no interceptions. But again, Hornets hadn't answered. They'd add a field goal to get within a score, and here with under 5 minutes left, Caden Bennett finds Fulcher to tie the game up at 27. Vandals turn with a lot of time left on the clock. They'd put together a long drive. This might be the play of the game here. Anthony Woods breaks multiple tackles, turns it into a big 19-yard first down, which would lead to bleeding out the clock. And with just seconds left, Ricardo Chavez from 30 yards out, a game winner. But not so fast. There was still 1 second left on the clock. You got to do the kickoff. Vandals decided to roll with a squib kick. Hornets try everything they can here with a lateral, but Idaho winds up scooping up the loose ball. Armani Arnold takes it to the crib. A nail-biter goes to the Vandals, 36-27, inning sack states, 22 straight regular season win streak. And for kicker Ricardo Chavez, the game-winning kick meant a little extra after missing a potential game winner last season in the playoffs.
There's some people that know what happened last year in the playoffs, and that was something that I took in this offseason, and, you know, that made me work harder and made me the person I am today. Man, I mean, this is my first career game-winning field goal, and I can't thank God enough. It feels amazing.